Welcome to The Tech Cove with your host, Sean Hasbury. Hear questions and interviews, plus lots of accessible software, and just a whole lot of fun. And now, here's Sean.
It's almost vacation time. Where you gonna go?
Well, Sean said something about a few ideas he had. They are featured in the show this week, I think. Sue?
Ideas for your spring and summer travel, and yes, they are all accessible.
With an interview here at The Tech Cove.
I am here with a special treat for you guys. I'm here with a lodge aficionado of a place where us blind folks can go and rest and relax, and I do occasionally get away from all the technology and, instead of playing with digital trees and such, go to nature. And I have my friend here to tell you all about it.
Okay, my name is Richard Stone, and I live in a little small place called Chase City, Virginia. I don't know why they named this little town after a Yankee from the Lincoln's administration, but anyway.
I'll edit that too. No,
for all you Yankees out there, I'm sorry about that. I'm not prejudiced. It's just the war ain't over yet.
Tell me about it. Which one?
I've been going to this Burkeville Lodge for the blind since about 1986, 1987.
And how long has it been around?
According to the history and all that stuff we put online, the Virginia Association of Workers for the Blind was started in like 1919. The association bought a little bit of farm property in this little rural place called Burkeville in 1960. It was just a farmhouse with a kitchen and a couple of bedrooms. It already had an in-ground swimming pool. The people that had owned it had a swimming pool. So they started inviting the visually impaired and blind people to, spend a weekend. The place did not have air conditioning or ceiling fans. Yeah. So there was a lot of sitting around at nighttime, sweating, and just shooting the breeze. And a few people fell into the swimming pool because there was no fence around it. That's when the last manager decided to buy a lifesaver on a rope and a big old long hook so they could fish the people out of the swimming pool.
Huh. So you guys picked it up from an Abbott and Costello auction there?
From what I understand, one of our older people had her church clothes on, and she accidentally stepped backwards and splashed.
Oh, wow.
So they kind of hooked her out. But now we've got several fences around the swimming pool, and that kind of helps the visually impaired, and it helps keep any C&I Labrador retrievers that like to go swimming. It keeps them from getting in there.
Well, that's good. You guys have spaces for our service animals.
Yeah. The basic rule is just like every place else. C&I dogs, leader dogs are welcome as long as their owner takes them to do their business and cleans up after them. We do have some woods over there where nobody goes walking if you want to go over there. We're pretty much on the outskirts of the town of Burkeville. We have a fishing and boating pond with a pier that goes across, so you can stand out there and either sit on the bench and gossip or bring your fishing pole and whatever you want to do out there. You can go out there and just listen to the frogs and birds and all that stuff if you want to. There you go. We have a screened-in gazebo with 2 entrances. One is like 2 or 3 steps and a screen door, and then one of our local people in Burkeville, whose wife is blind, built a wheelchair ramp. So getting in and out of the gazebo is no problem. We also have a big ceiling fan in there and a couple of swings hanging down from chains and plenty of little benches in there to sit on. And the ladies and the guys get in there and tell jokes and gossip, and we pick on each other. Because if you don't laugh at a blind joke, then you ain't got no business going there. We have lots of home-cooked food in our dining room, which is door number 2. It's the only double-door room we have up there, so it's real easy to find and just smell the food. They ring the dinner bell at mealtime, and there's always, it's about 50% sighted, 50% visually impaired and blind. And we have handrails around the buildings, and we also have handrail going down the paved road and around the pond, too. So if you want to go fishing or just sit out on the pier, one of our ladies a few years ago, we had a TV station come to the lodge and videotape a bunch. And one of our older members, who is in the vicinity of 92, 93 years old, she, once they put some solid metal handrails, she's totally blind. And she said once she made up her mind to walk down to the pond one morning by herself. She sat there all by herself and listened, as she put it, to nothing. And it just made her so happy that there was no trains or trucks or traffic or anything like that to listen to. And we do have birds and we do have frogs. Turtles don't make noise, but every once in a while a fish will break the surface. There have been known to be a few ducks and or geese that kind of nested in the area. Well, we had lots of good food, and sighted people are always there to help out. Once they ring the bell, and you take a seat, find your way. Somebody can help you get to the dining room and find you a seat. Somebody will tell you what we have on the menu at the buffet style, and they'll put it on your plate and bring it to you. And basically, if you need help telling the roast beef is at 6 o'clock and the potatoes are at 3, they'll do that too.
Is it just dinner, or do we have to kill a few chickens for eggs for lunch or breakfast? Or
we get 3 meals a day. So the average breakfast is bacon and a couple of scrambled eggs and orange juice or whatever, apple juice and coffee. Get as much coffee as you can inhale.
You hear that, guys? Free better than Starbucks.
It's, you get toast and biscuits and all that. Lunchtime, sometimes they fire up the old gas grill outside, do hot dogs and hamburgers.
Well, I'll tell you what, nothing really does like gas with propane and all that good stuff.
I'm telling you, you get plenty of food. Dinner might be fried chicken and 3 or 4 different choices of vegetables.
Wait, you telling me that I can go back for 6 if I wanted to?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can do that. Just, do about it real nonchalant.
I'll be sitting by the buffet for the folks at home.
We did, at one time, we didn't get to have seconds. But the new management and people that have been there for the last several years say, oh, yeah, these people need to eat. Well, only a few of us need to eat it. I can remember the day when I partially sighted enough to get into trouble. I remember the day when my hair was still naturally dark brown, and I could stand up and look down and see my feet.
So it sounds like the lodge has kept you very, as we put it in the Southern term, healthy.
We do have some fun. We have semi-private and private rooms. Some of the rooms have got 2-3 beds. Some of them just got a queen. All the rooms, with the exception of the cottage, they all have the little mini refrigerators. So if you want to go get somebody to take you to the dollar store or something like that, you can go get you some sodas or whatever you're drinking and keep it chilled.
Now, so I'm guessing that for the people like me who are spirits infused, there is alcohol allowed on the premises.
Yeah, you can. If you want to bring your own, you can do that. There is a dollar store in town that I believe they sell beer and wine and sodas, everything a 7-Eleven would do.
Oh, wow.
Now, in Virginia, you have to go to the ABC store to get you some harder spirits. And at nighttime, a bunch of them get together sometimes and play Uno, or if we have a big crowd, we play bingo in the dining room, and the bingo cards are Braille and large print. And if you need help, there's always a sighted person around that'll say, okay. And let's see. Fishing, swimming, Uno, bingo. We do have some talking books. We do have Wi-Fi, so you can bring your phones and your laptops and all that.
Let's see.
The main cottage has got like 3 or 4 large sofas and 5 or 6 big plumpy chairs, and a TV and a VCR. So whoever can find the remote control gets to control it. What else would you like to know about the place? It's real inexpensive.
Well, I was going to, before you say that, how many people, like, say, well, what's the max capacity? Because, I mean, I would hate to drive up, in the Scooby-Doo mystery van with at least 40 or 50 blind people and say, we're here!
Well, if you bring 50-some people, you could always make reservations at the Quality Inn down the street. We can, if the people know each other quite well, and don't mind sleeping in the same room, we could probably bed down about 35. Now, we do have an extra farmhouse, a couple of 100 yards away. It's within walking distance of the lodge. We have, for any overflow or for family reunions or things like that, we can sleep 10 people in that big farmhouse. And it has got a complete kitchen and everything. So if a family or friends wanted to rent just the farmhouse, you could also bring your own food and cook. They've got plates and coffee makers and microwaves and refrigerator and beds and TVs and air conditioning and heat. And several of us did that the New Year's Eve, 1999, 2000, when the world was supposed to end.
Yeah, I was... Yeah,
when all the computers were going to crash because
Yeah.
it didn't know. We didn't have gasoline in 1900. Computers were going to think it was 1900. So 4 of us just went up there and rented the farmhouse, and we brought our own food.
Huh.
And the only problem with that weekend was it was real warm. The warm weather did not kill the viruses, and bronchitis, pneumonia.
So I guess you could say, in a way, in that area at the time, their world of fun ended. But I'm guessing it would fit, say, maybe 30, 35 people.
30, 35 people should be, no problem. We would like for, if anybody's interested, they can either contact me and I can give them more information, and or they can call the office and make reservations, leave a message. We don't have anybody that mans the office full time.
Well, so since they don't, and it will be a direct thing, because I mean, hell, you already know I'm coming up there. So how would they get in touch with you, either by phone or by email, by fax, telepathy?
Yeah, that would work. Or is, y'all people get ready to copy. 434-372-5787.
Now, one more time, just in case there's usually the slow one at home. So
434-372-5787, and my email address is rwstone48@verizon.net.
Email address one more time. Email address one more time.
rwstone48@verizon.net.
Cool.
And the phone number to the Burkeville Lodge for the Blind is 434-767-4080. The voicemail. Yeah, we're in the 21st century. We have voicemail now.
But is it connected to the 1980s machine? Gotcha.
We've got some antique computers around if you like to play games. One of them, I think, you have to hand crank to get it booted up.
All right. You see, guys, that you can do exercise and have low tech at the same time.
Right. Lose weight and get fat at the same time.
Well, you only lose weight if you let go of the crank.
Well, yeah, you got to keep on cranking. They ought to put it on a bicycle, so as long as you're pedaling, you can.
If they did that, I'd never check my email while I was there, which I really don't intend to. As far as some people who are musicians, are there instruments there that people have donated to, or?
We have, in the dining room, we have an electric organ and a piano. In the main cottage, we have another piano in the large living room. We do occasionally have some of our people are musically, I was going to say challenged, but
musically inspired.
Musically capable.
Yeah.
We've got one blind man and his blind wife that come from Charlottesville, Virginia, which takes them 3 or 4 hours to get down. here, and Woodrow plays he plays a flat top guitar and sings country songs and bluegrass. He also has an instrument. It's tuned like a guitar, so it has 6 strings, but it sounds like a banjo. And he calls it a gitjo. Well, he said, I don't know how to play a banjo, so we did this instrument because it's got 6 strings. I just play 6 strings, and it comes out sounding like a banjo. And Woodrow gets the place rocking sometimes after dinner or after lunch, especially when he cranks up his little rendition of Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms. Even the city folks get to banging and stomping on the floors and the tables. Yeehaw has been known to have been heard a time or two.
That was me.
We went on, the organizer organized some trips. There's a place about 8 or 10 miles down the road called Twin Lakes. He organized with the park rangers to take us canoeing. Blind person, sighted person, each in a canoe. Only one person fell in the water, and that person was sighted. Then some of them motivated on over to Sailors Creek, Virginia, which is the last battlefield of that War of Northern Aggression. And then they went on down to the surrender grounds at Appomattox, which my computer calls Appomattox. Yeah. Jaws is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, they had a real good time. They had pool parties every night. They arranged to have go swimming way after supper and after dark. I believe a few margaritas were mixed. And I'm hoping to see him come back again one day.
Is there a prime time, where people can come as far as events and things that are going on during the year?
Yeah, we have a regular schedule. We're trying to get the website back up and loaded with the schedule for this year. We have coming up for Valentine's Day weekend. We have a little get together, and for most weekends, it's usually they come in Friday, Saturday, and go home Sunday after breakfast. For just a little regular weekend. We do have usually get a lot of people Memorial Day, Labor Day, of course the 4th of July, the Independence Day, hoping that it falls on a weekend or in the vicinity of a weekend. We have 2 yard sales a year. It's usually the first Saturday in May and the first Saturday in October, and it runs from like 8 o'clock in the morning till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we cook outside on the grill. We sell breakfast and lunch to anybody that's shopping that's hungry. We have a silent auction for a couple of hours the Saturday before Labor Day Monday. So sometimes it might fall in August. And it's a little 2-hour event. You go in the dining room, you put a bid down on the piece of paper, and you wait till noontime for the person to collect the tablets, and so it raises money, because I didn't say that we're a 501c3 nonprofit company, so we have to do what we can to raise money, and all donations are appreciated.
Right. I'm guessing that there's something to join, and I'm telling on myself because I forgot. There's something to join on the website where, like a newsletter of some sort.
Yeah, it's well. What you can do is you can go to www.vawb.org, and that stands for Virginia Association Workers Blind.org. If it's up and working, it's got some links to the history, to dues if you want to join the organization. Then you get newsletters twice a year. What's going on, any events coming up that we go to. We might go to some local shows or musical venues. Several of the churches around have things at Christmas time. We do have a Christmas, the first Saturday in December, we have our Christmas lunch and party, where if you want to get a gift, you bring a gift, like a unisex gift for $5, $10, $15, whatever you feel like doing.
Okay.
And then you get a gift in exchange, and we also give out some door prizes. And, of course, we have turkey and ham and all that stuff that diabetic people are supposed to be real careful about.
But I'm sure there are a lot of things to eat there that are diabetic friendly.
We do have some ladies that do have diabetes, and they bake sugar-free cakes and pies.
Mm-hmm.
We always have plenty of desserts, and all you have to do is say anything over there sugar-free, and it's like we get plenty to eat. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, do we still have any skinny people there?
Man,
I love them all.
I can't wait to come to the lodge and actually relax on my vacation. That's going to be
I
so
can
much
only
fun.
think of two. Yeah, well, we're looking forward to seeing you there. Let me know, and I'll try to get there that weekend. We can hang out. And if anybody out there in radio internet land is interested, if they need help with transportation, we'll try.
And nothing beats a failure but a try. So that's a good thing.
Now, some people come with a sighted person, and they can either, depending on where they live, they can either fly in to Richmond or Raleigh, North Carolina. Richmond is closer to the lodge. The Burkeville Lodge is about 50 or 60 miles, kind of southwest of Richmond.
Ah, okay.
It's actually on a 4-lane highway.
Ooh.
Near the intersection of Highway 360 and 460, and the little town of Crew is right next door, and they have, I think, at least 3 stoplights.
Wow. Well, you guys, you heard about this fabulous place here first. Just, unless my buddy here answers the phone, just don't tell him that I sent you, unless you hear his voice. Because they'd be really confused.
You could Amtrak to Richmond, or if you were close enough, you could bus in, and we could get somebody to pick you up if you were just coming and didn't have a vehicle or a driver's license. We can talk about maybe somebody could pick you up that's coming, from the Richmond area.
That's cool. Now, before we end the interview, give them the contact information one more time.
Okay, my name is Richard Stone, Shea City, Virginia, 434-372-5787. Email rwstone48@verizon.net. The Burkeville Lodge for the Blind phone number is 434-767-4080. The email address is vwblind, so that's VWBLIND at gmail dot whatever.
.com.
Gmail dot, yeah, okay. It's already programmed into my computer, so I don't have to worry about it. The website is www.vawb.org, and if anybody contacts me, I can send them a link to an 8-minute segment of a TV show we did 5 or 6 years ago about the lodge.
Oh, okay.
There is Carolyn Sue Bowling from Lynchburg and myself being interviewed, and they show anybody that's partially sighted or has some sighted people watching the computer. It shows some photographs of the pond and the pool and the gazebo and stuff like that, so they get a kind of a feel of what the rooms are like.
Just for the people at home, I will post that link on the TechCove's website.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now we ain't no Ritz-Carlton, so you don't get chocolates on your pillow or fresh towels. If you got dirty towels, we'll give you the clean towels. We don't make your beds, but like I said, we ain't no Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, it's more like it's
for
more
about
like
$40 or $45, that gives you a bed and 3 meals.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat that, as they say down south. You can't beat that with a stick.
Nope. Not even one that has the the little prickly things on it, the briars.
Yeah.
That's what they're called. Well, Richard, thank you very much for letting me interview you and for all this info. I mean, the closest to relaxing around here I could get is picking up a cordless phone. So.
Thanks for listening to today's Tech Cove. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. Tune in again next week at the same time for another edition with Sean Hosbury.
Don't touch that dial.
I have a question. How would you protect your house when you're gone? I mean, is there an accessible alarm system?
Of course there is, through Comcast's Xfinity Home. Sean? Where'd he?
He'll be back. He used the televator to go interview the next place for the next show on Blind Person's Vacations. He left this behind though.
I do want to show you something that I thought was neat as far as having Comcast. So, with the help of, hey Siri, open Xfinity Home. My alarm system. This is a part of the Comcast Xfinity suite when you get home service. Now, I'm already signed into the app. It's a fairly simple laid out app. At the bottom of the screen, there's Overview, Activity, Automation, and More. More is just minor settings. Automation, you can turn your rules on and off. Like, say, if I wanted the alarm to be disabled at 6 o'clock in the morning and I wanted to automatically set at 12 a.m., I could do that. And yes, it does work on the website with NVDA. Activity shows what's been going on, if doors have been opened and closed, as far as, if there was noise in the house, the motion detector and all that kind of stuff. But I'll just show you how easy it is to arm my house.
Overview, heading, alerts button, system status, disarmed button.
Okay, the alarm's disarmed right now. I tap on that link.
System status, disarmed, arm system, nav close button.
And
arm system, heading.
Since it's nighttime, I'm going to select night.
Arm stay button.
Stay basically means, you're in the house, kind of like you're in your own private cage, and nobody's going to bother you.
Selected away button.
Away is, when you're leaving home.
Night button.
Night provides an extra layer of security, so if anything happens outside, to be even more so sensitive, which I'm going to select it.
Selected night.
And put in my passcode. After you put your passcode in, it'll make a little noise. That's from the touch screen. Now, usually, after you arm the system, there is a timer.
Overview, heading, over, alert, cancel, button, 1:47.
Okay, you'll see a timer next to the alert. So, basically, if you had company and you wanted to get them the hell out, you could just tell them you have
1:22.
1 minute and 22 seconds to leave. It's a very, very accessible app. There's also a part where if you're partially sighted and you subscribe to the camera area here.
Living room camera, 8:12:46p button.
When you tap on that window, it will make the image much larger.
Oh, alert, 0:55.
Oh, 55 seconds. I guess we should get out of here. Anyway, okay, there you go. Nobody can get in or out. And trust me, it's a very, very loud, nasty noise when, I could do that just to show what the alarm sounds like. Hold your ears. Okay. And it also sent me a text message. Actually, it sent me two. One saying that the alarm was active, and another one saying... So I think that's pretty cool that you can set rules to where if a door is open or closed, it will text you. If the alarm went off and I wasn't home, the center would notify me and ask me what my code was and if everything's okay. But I've learned how to disable the alarm quite well, whether it's by accident, through the app, through the touchscreen, or whatever. So, okay, done with that. Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm late for my own show. What's been going on?
We ran with your schedule, duh.
How nice. I guess I'll take over now. There's only a few minutes left. I think we'll just play something interesting.
Hello everyone, this is Kelly Supercha from Saskatchewan, Canada, and welcome to my first podcast, a new game from Kid-Friendly Software as part of their Blindfold Games series called Blindfold Bowling. This is a neat audio game for iOS devices, and I'll be using a 5th generation iPod Touch running iOS 9.02 for this demonstration, and is both simple and challenging at the same time. There are various gameplay modes to choose from, and you can play solo games, games against the computer, or two-player games if there's someone else in the room with you. You just pass the device around. I hope that in the future it will be possible to play with others online, but we'll have to see what happens there. The game itself is available for free from the App Store, but it does work on a coin-based system similar to that of an arcade game. You can get more coins either with in-app purchases, the most expensive one being an unlimited option in which you can replenish your coins when they get to a certain amount or below, but you can also get additional coins for free by watching video ads, among other things. The procedure for doing this is very simple. You simply go into the Get Upgrades screen, double tap on the item to watch a video, and another screen will pop up in landscape mode asking if you want to watch the video, so you would obviously choose yes, at which point the video will play. When it ends, there may be two unlabeled buttons that will appear depending on the video. Generally, the one on the left will replay the ad, while the one on the right will close the screen, and there may also be buttons for installing the app mentioned. When you close the screen, you'll get a message saying, "Thanks for watching, you've earned 1 blindfold," and you need 3 blindfolds in order to get 1 coin. I believe you can also earn coins by getting a certain number of strikes as well. So it is possible to play this game for free, but I would recommend supporting kid-friendly software by buying the in-app purchases, if at all possible. Well, I'm ready to go bowling, so let's see how we do in the Blindfold Bowling Alley.
Welcome to Blindfold Bowling. To learn how to play, tap the help button.
As you heard, I've got my iPod connected to my mixer, and we're now in the Blindfold Bowling app. The first few items on the screen deal with solo games. If I flick to the right,
10-pin, 1 player, simple throw.
now all these are 10-pin games, and hopefully in future versions there will be other variants of bowling as well. Right now we're on the simple throw option. This is where you hold down one finger on the screen to move from left to right to position yourself, and when you let go the ball will go straight down the alley without angling or anything.
10-pin, 1 player, 1 finger aim and throw.
This option is rather tricky because you not only have to position yourself by moving left to right, but you also have to flick up and in the direction you want the ball to go. I don't know if you have to do it exactly in an angle, but that's usually what I do. And sometimes I can get some pins down, other times not, so it's quite challenging, believe me.
10-pin, 1 player, 2 finger aim and throw.
This option is especially tricky here, the 2-finger aim and throw. You're using one finger to position yourself, and then while holding that finger down, you're using another finger to flick in the direction you want.
10-pin, Yon computer, simple throw.
Now we come to the same gameplay options, except that this is for when you're playing against a computer.
10-pin, Yon computer, 1 finger aim and throw. 10-pin, Yon computer, 2 finger aim and throw.
And then the next option,
10-pin, 2 players, simple throw.
actually I should say the next options, anyway, are for 2-player games.
10-pin, 2 players, 1 finger aim and throw. 10-pin, 2 players, 2 finger aim and throw. Help, button.
This will allow you to read the documentation that comes with the game.
Get upgrades, button.
Okay, we actually went over one. We should be, if I move to the left.
Settings, button.
At settings, we'll look at that in a minute.
Get upgrades, button.
And there's the get upgrades screen, but we're not going to worry about that.
Settings, button.
Let's go into the settings screen and see what we can adjust.
Settings, heading.
Now I'm going to flick to the right.
Done, button. Game settings, heading. Background sounds. Now it is bowling alley medium.
You can adjust the volume of the bowling alley ambience, or you can choose quiet if you don't want any ambience.
Less talk and sound effects. Now it is off.
Let's talk in sound effects. Think of this as a verbose option, like those you would find on certain screen readers for Windows. I don't know about VoiceOver for the Mac. Essentially, this will, when enabled, reduce the amount of information you get. So you'll get briefer messages than you would when it's turned off, as it is by default.
Post my new high score to none.
I don't have this set, but you can set it up to post your score on Twitter or Facebook.
Bowling ball speed. Now it is a medium.
The bowling ball speed is currently set at medium. I haven't done anything with this option, but I'm assuming that if you set this to, let's say, fast or slow, it will change how many pins get knocked down.
Side to side position. Now it is numbers.
When you're moving from left to right to line yourself up with, let's say, the center or wherever you want to throw the ball, you will, by default, hear numbers. Samantha's voice on the right and Alex's voice on the left. So really, you don't need headphones to play this if you don't want to use them, but I recommend them simply because it'll allow you to hear the sounds of the bowling alley in true stereo.
Tell throw angle. Now it is off.
Tell throw angle. This will announce the angle that you're throwing when you're in a mode like, let's say, one finger aim and throw.
Bowling ball size. Now it is a large.
You can adjust the bowling ball size.
Bowling pin size. Now it is a large.
And also the pin size. Now, the large setting for both of these options is recommended if you are a beginning player.
Customize voices.
But I haven't adjusted that. Now we're on Customize Voices. This allows you to set the voice for either your actions or when you're playing against a computer opponent. Right now I have this set so that Samantha Enhanced will be the voice for my actions, and Karen Enhanced will be for my opponent.
Choose the competitor. Now it is random.
You can choose the competitor you want to play against, or let the computer do that for you.
Tell pins left for competitor. Now it is off.
This option is on by default, but I like to have it off so that I don't hear what pins are standing for the computer player. Basically what this means is when you knock down your pins, you're told which ones are still standing. In other words, 4, 5, 7, 8, etc. When the computer knocks their pins down, if this option is off, you'll simply hear how many pins are standing for the computer, but their values will not be indicated.
Replay message if not spoken. See user guide for info. Now it is on.
Okay, I'm not really sure what this does, but we're going to leave that alone.
About. Heading.
And now we come to the About heading.
Version 1.4.3.
That's the version number at the time of this recording.
Learn about our other apps.
You can learn about the other apps that kid-friendly software produces.
Display list of apps on startup. Now it is off. Visit our blog, blindfoldgames.org.
Okay, that's self-explanatory.
Follow us on Twitter, @blindfoldjames. Tap to ask us a question, give us your ideas to improve this game, or just post your comments on applevis.com. We answer all questions and appreciate your suggestions. Or, from your PC or Mac, visit applevis.com and search for Blindfold Simon.
Whoops, I think you mean blindfold bowling there.
Send an email to us.
Or you can send them an email. You just tap on any of those buttons to go to the relevant pages or to send them an email. And that is the settings screen, so I'm going to get out of here.
Side-to-side position. Nap. Settings. Done. Button. Blindfold bowling main menu.
And we are now back at the main menu. Why don't we play a round against the computer with the simple throw options? So I'm going to see if I can get
button.
to that.
10 pin, 10 pin, 10 pin, 10 pin, you and computer, simple throw.
And there we are. So I'll double tap on this and the game will start.
10 pin, you and computer, simple
Using
throw.
1 coin to play, you have 5 coins left. To get more coins, click Get Upgrades. To go back to the main menu, swipe up with 3 fingers. Starting game, 10 pin, you and computer, simple throw.
You are playing against Susan. Susan has medium ball speed and her ball accuracy is very good. Susan scores an average of 194 points per game.
It's your turn. Move your finger left and right, and then flick it. The ball will travel straight towards the pins.
So it sounds like I'm going to be playing against a very experienced computer opponent here. But that's okay. I'm going to hold down my finger on the screen.
1,
and
2, 3.
You can hear Alex
4,
there.
3.
He's on the left of the center.
1, center.
And if I move to the right,
1, 2, 3.
There's Samantha.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Center.
So let's go back to the center, and I'm going to lift up.
You knocked over 7 pins, leaving 3 pins standing. 7, 8, 10. Throw your second ball.
Okay, and
1.
Center.
Let's try the center again. Ah!
You missed all the pins on this throw,
Darn.
leaving 3 pins standing. 7, 8, 10. You scored 7 points.
Susan throws the ball. Susan knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. Susan throws the ball.
Come on, Susan!
Susan made a spare.
It's your turn. Frame 2. Throw your first ball.
There you go, so she got a spare ball, meaning that she didn't get all the pins down in one throw, which would obviously be a strike, but she was able to get those last couple in there. So now it's my turn again.
2, 1.
Center.
You knocked over 7 pins, leaving 3 pins standing. 7, 8, 10. Throw your second ball.
Okay, now in a normal game of bowling, you would be angling yourself or squaring yourself up with a line, basically, to see if you could hit the other pins, and that's what I'm going to try here.
1. Center.
Okay, I'm going to the left.
2.
Let's try about here in number 2.
1.
Oh, okay, I think I got
You
number
knocked
1.
over 1 pin, leaving 2 pins standing. 7. 10. You scored 8 points.
Susan throws the ball.
I got the 8 pin on that one.
Susan made a strike.
It's your turn. Frame 3. Throw your first ball.
So there you go, Susan knocked down all the pins and got a strike. That's obviously my goal as well.
2. 1. Center.
You knocked over 9 pins, leaving 1 pin standing. 7. Throw your second ball.
So now we've got number 7 to deal with here for the pins.
1. Center. 1. 2. 3.
Let's try here. Ah, missed.
You missed all the pins on this throw, leaving 1 pin standing. 7. You scored 9 points.
That's a hard one to get.
Susan throws the ball. Susan knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. Susan throws the ball. Susan made a spare.
It's your turn. Frame 4. Throw your first ball.
So Susan got another spare there. Now I'm going to go back to the main menu for a minute.
1. Center.
10 pin, you and computer, simple throw.
Because I want to make some changes in the settings, so I will do that real quick, and we'll be back with you in a moment. Alright, I've made the changes I wanted to make. Basically, I turned on the less talk and sound effects option, as well as the tell pins left for competitor option, so you can hear what that sounds like. And I also set the side-to-side position information from numbers to beeps, so when we're moving to the right of the center, you'll hear clicks that will increase in speed, and as we go left of the center, you'll hear beeps that will increase in speed depending on what position we're at. So I'm going to double tap on the resume game button, and let's see how we do now.
Resume game.
To go back to the main menu, swipe up with 3 fingers. Resuming game. 10 pin, you and computer, simple throw. It is frame 4. It's your first throw. Your score so far is 24.
Susan's score so far is 56. And the next throw will be added to that score.
It's your turn. Frame 4. Throw your first ball.
Yeah, she's getting ahead of me there. Just like in the regular bowling for me, but anyway. So, now you can hear the clicks. Now that means that I'm in the center. And if I move to the left, you can hear that the beeps get faster. And I'm going to move back to the right. Let's try one to the left of the center. So lift up.
You made a strike.
Woohoo!
Susan throws the ball.
I made a strike. Oh, and so did she.
Susan made a strike.
It's your turn.
You could just tell
Frame
by
5. Throw your first ball.
you could just tell by the sounds there. Okay, this is the center.
You knocked over 7 pins, leaving 3 pins standing. 7, 8, 10. Throw your second ball.
Okay. Let's try this one.
You knocked over 1 pin, leaving 2 pins standing.
Darn.
7, 10. You scored 8 points.
Susan throws the ball. Susan knocked over 6 pins, leaving 4 pins standing. 1, 2, 4, 7. Susan throws the ball. Susan made a spare.
It's your turn. Frame 6. Throw your first ball.
So that's what it sounds like when you have the tell pins left for competitor option turned on. Personally, I prefer it when it's in the off position, but that's okay.
You knocked over 9 pins, leaving 1 pin standing. 7. Throw your second ball.
Alright, I'm going to see if I can get this.
You made a spare.
There we go.
Susan throws the ball. Susan made a strike.
Oh,
It's your turn. Frame 7. Throw your first ball.
she's good. Way ahead of me there. And I think if you want to get the score information again, you just shake the device. Let's see if I can do that.
It is frame 7. It's your first throw. Your score so far is 66. And the next throw will be added to that score.
Susan's score so far is 118.
Woohoo!
And the next 2 throws will be added to that score.
Oh my goodness. Now, she's way ahead of me there. Now, those clicks that you're hearing are if we were to move to the right of the center position. Just thought I'd let you hear that if I didn't already.
You knocked over 7 pins, leaving 3 pins standing. 2, 4, 7. Throw your second ball.
Okay, I'm going to try the center position again. There we go. Ah!
You missed all the pins on this throw, leaving 3 pins standing. 2, 4, 7. You scored 7 points.
Ah, darn.
Susan throws the ball.
Don't you just hate it when that happens?
Susan knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 7, 10. Susan throws the ball.
And I wouldn't be surprised if...
Susan made a spare.
I knew it.
It's your turn.
I knew it.
Frame 8. Throw your first ball.
Okay, back to the center for me.
You knocked over 9 pins, leaving 1 pin standing.
Good.
7.
Okay.
Throw your second ball.
I might be able to get a spare maybe here.
You made a spare.
There we go.
Susan throws the ball. Susan knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 9, 10. Susan throws the ball.
I wouldn't be surprised if she makes another spare.
Susan made a spare.
Ha! I
It's
knew
your
it.
turn. Frame 9. Throw your first ball.
Okay, we're on the second last frame of the game here. This time I'm gonna move over. Let's try about here. That was the one
You
position to
knocked
the
over
left
9 pins, leaving 1 pin standing.
of the center.
10. Throw your second ball.
Okay, and I believe I know where that is. Nope, wrong
You missed
position.
all the pins on this throw,
Darn.
leaving 1 pin standing. 10. You scored 9 points.
Susan throws the ball. Susan knocked over 7 pins, leaving 3 pins standing. 7, 9, 10. Susan throws the ball. Susan made a spare.
It's your turn. Frame 10. Throw your first ball.
Now in this frame, when you get a strike, you get a bonus ball. So we'll see if that happens here. Okay, I didn't get a strike that
You
time.
knocked over 9 pins, leaving 1 pin standing. 7. Throw your second ball.
Okay. Ah, missed!
You missed all the pins on this throw.
Got the wrong
leaving 1
position,
pin
I think.
standing. 7. You scored 9 points.
Susan throws the ball.
Come on, Susan, get a strike! Oh,
Susan knocked over 6 pins, leaving 4 pins standing. 7, 8, 9, 10. Susan throws the ball. Susan made a spare. Susan throws the bonus ball.
oh, okay, so you got a bonus ball, alright.
Susan knocked over 6 pins, leaving 4 pins standing. 1, 6, 9, 10. Susan scored 16 points.
You scored a total of 117 points.
Susan scored a total of 207 points. Susan won this game.
Game is over. Swipe up with 3 fingers to return to the main menu, or swipe up with 1 finger to play again.
Well, Susan was the winner for that game, so I guess I'm going to go back to the main menu.
Blindfold bowling main menu.
And that was a demonstration of Blindfold Bowling from kid-friendly software. I really like it and think it's a great game to have on your iOS device, especially if you like bowling like I do. Just before I go, though, I'd like to correct something I said about frame 10. If you get a strike, you get 2 bonus balls, but if you get a spare, you only get 1 bonus ball. So that's what happened to Susan there. Blindfold Bowling is available for free from the App Store, and if you would like more information about kid-friendly software and their products, you can visit their blog at www.blindfoldgames.org. That's blindfoldgames, all one word, .org. And if you would like to contact me with any comments or suggestions about anything you've heard in this podcast, you can do so by email at ksapergia, KSAPERGIA, at gmail.com. That's ksapergia at gmail.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at KJSapergia, KJSAPERGIA.
Is it time now? Is it now?
Yes, it's really the end of the show. And time for the double feature movie show.
So, time to shut her down. See y'all next week.
Thanks for listening to today's Tech Cove. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. Tune in again next week at the same time for another edition with Sean Hosbury.